So Tuesday saw like quite a big update for World War 2, and that's not even considering the fact DLC 2 came out, which just to talk about for like 1 minute, I didn't know that was coming out. I really didn't. They've been really weird with the marketing for this game. They generally have. They've really sort of killed it already. I saw nothing about it. I don't know. Was there even a trailer? I'm not sure. I saw more. They made more of a big deal out of all the division changes and all the changes they've done to multiplayer, which I am going to be talking about, which were made on Tuesday. Basically, to sum them up, it's quite difficult to sum up because there was loads. They've changed a lot in terms of the divisions and also the basic training, which are like the perks essentially. Just to give you a run of some of the things, we now all have faster sprinting, which was for airborne, I believe. We now have suppressors, SMG suppressors and things like that as an attachment. We also have the noob tube coming back as an attachment. Everyone's thrilled with that, aren't they? So things like that have been added, and all these sort of essentially the rewards for each division, because obviously you level up, you have 4 levels, and you'd get a new sort of perk essentially. It's sort of like a added perk given to that, which would help you out a little bit more in game. Now, some of the major things, and the one that this has impacted the most, I would say, is Armoured. Armoured was probably the least used, and in fact, when this was revealed, Sledgehammer, they brought out a video. The guy in the video was making the point that Armoured is one of the least used divisions out of all of them, which isn't shocking. I only used it to try and get it to Prestige 1. I think most people are probably the same. So what they've done is they have made it so it's more appealing to use, but they might have gone a little bit too far depending on what your view is on that. So some of the rewards for each level you level up on Armoured, they include more resistance to grenades and things like that, and tactical equipment. So essentially flak jacket, if you remember, which does actually make when you run Armoured, at least it makes some of the perks redundant. It essentially gives you sorry, not the perks, the basic training. It makes a couple of the basic trainings redundant, meaning you won't get it already gives you the benefit, and that is the ones that give you more protection from lethal and tactical equipment. So these have now became essentially part of the Armoured, which essentially means, if you think about it, you can get away with running those with an extra basic training. Essentially you get another basic training, and it kind of to me it makes it closer to what was the old sort of free perk system, because we're getting flak jacket essentially, we're getting the similar thing just for tactical equipment and things like that. We're also, another thing is, before I forget to mention it, bullet damage through wood and through cover increases. That's the 3rd level of Armoured. So essentially they've made Armoured a lot more usable. Now, the area where this becomes potentially OP is with SMGs and things like that. Now, as I said earlier, one of the things that have been changed is that everyone gets the ability to run faster and reload and things like that, which was one of the things you would get with Airborne. Now everyone gets that, so you don't need to run Airborne anymore for that. So you've already got that without using Airborne. So you can get the added perk of that with Airborne essentially, and if you run Armoured, you then get explosive damage increase, and tactical damage doesn't do as much. So essentially you're really getting a lot out of it, and that's actually something I want to look into more, and I'm going to do a live commentary video running some of these classes. You're seeing them a little bit in the gameplay I'm showing you. But yeah, I feel like that might be something that people do a lot. Other things that have been changed, Sniper's Sway now doesn't matter no matter what. If you've got a scope, you don't need mounting anymore. It will give you the option, and things. That's another one. I did see someone raise the point of why wasn't it just like this at the start, and that is a fair point to a degree. People have been asking for change for quite a while, and it is quite a big change for them to be fair. So I could see why it might take a while. They want to obviously get all the information as much information as possible, which they clearly did because they did research. There was such as Armoured is at least used and things like that. And to a certain degree, I agree that maybe it should have been like this from the start. However, they were trying something new with basic training and divisions, and there's bound to not get it 100% right. Call of Duty's never really done things like that. And to be honest, I appreciate the attempt at change, and I think generally the divisions is a good thing, and so is, I would probably prefer Pick 10 or the free perk system that Cod 4 brought in over it, but like I say, I appreciate the attempt at change and the attempt to freshen it up, and they have, I think, on the basis of things, made things better for the players. Obviously, as we go along, we'll find some things that maybe have a negative impact. Possibly the use of SMGs and Armoured, you never know. And I don't actually know if the grenade launchers are that powerful on assault rifles, but there are grenade launchers, and I feel like everyone has a little bit of a sort of panic attack whenever you see things like that, thinking back to Modern Warfare 2. But yeah, ultimately I think it was good that they tried something new, and yeah, they've had to tweak it quite a bit, but they tried it, and I appreciate that. Like I say, overall I do prefer the older systems, but change can be good, and they need to change to find out if that change is good. Ultimately, is this a good thing? Obviously it is. For one thing, it does sort of show that they do care. Sledgehammer do care, and I can't remember, in terms of at least gameplay update and changes to the actual way the game works, the multiplayer works, I can't really remember either Treyarch or Infinity Ward ever doing anything like that. I feel like Sledgehammer do obviously care about the community and the player base, and I feel like people just assume they don't, simply because of Activision. I think Activision are the evil overlords of all this. People don't trust Activision, so people instantly don't trust Sledgehammer and Treyarch. Well, Treyarch are trusted, but Sledgehammer specifically. But I think they've done good here, and I think it does, like I say, it does show they listen. You got to give them credit for changing it massively. So yeah, I think it's a good thing. What are your thoughts about everything? The divisions, the use of attachments, the ability to have suppressor as an attachment now. I'm not sure if it's on multiple guns. I don't think I saw it on assault rifles or snipers. I don't think it was there. I think it was just SMG suppressor, but I might be wrong. Do correct me if I am. Like I say, what's your thoughts on this? Is there anything wrong with it? Is there anything you might be concerned with over it? Does it keep you a bit interested in the game? Honestly, I was more happy about this than I was for DLC 2. Like I said, I didn't know DLC 2 was even coming out, which is just weird marketing, frankly. But yeah, that pretty much wraps it up. I just wanted to sort of talk about it a little bit, and yeah, it's a big change, so it's going to be interesting. Anyway, that pretty much wraps me up for what I want to say. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe for more Call of Duty, more video game content, whatever you want to call it. I'm mumbling now, aren't I? Yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching, and goodbye.